So 2018 has been a pretty great year for Skybald. We made a video, we did some gigs, we met some people. In this video I'm going to explain a little bit about how cool it was for us and a tiny little bit at the end about what we're going to be doing, cool stuff in the future. Skybald started off the year bringing our new drummer Matty J up to speed with the material that we'd already been playing for the past few years. Our previous drummer, he'd left the band a while before, and we'd concentrated on finding a new drummer but also just writing some new material till we had completed our lineup again. Once we had Matty, he proved to be a consummate professional and he picked up the material really quickly, so we jumped into our first gig of the year in April at the Rigger in Newcastle under Lyme here in Staffordshire. It was part of the Your City Festival with venues across Stoke-on-Trent, organised in conjunction with BBC Introducing. It was actually organised I think by Ben Nixon. Skybald hadn't at that point gigged for about 2 years, so we were quite nervous going into the gig. And on the night, I mean, if you've ever played a gig, you know this is the case, that sometimes it can be a bit difficult when you're playing on stage to hear what's going on. You don't hear what the audience hears. You hear the drum kit, you hear the monitors pointing right at you and your amplifiers, so it's difficult to tell how good you sound. And I remember at the time thinking, oh my god, we sound absolutely terrible. My combo amp was on top of a larger 4x12 cab, and right behind me it was blasting in my ear. The on-stage monitor was bright as hell, and to my ears it all sounded bright and harsh. But I continued playing thinking, well, at least I'm enjoying the fact that I'm doing what I love, playing music with mates, and it doesn't matter if we sound good at the end of the day. It's just a practice gig in my view, having a bit of fun. But I really shouldn't have worried. Since then we've got the soundboard audio of the gig and we sounded pretty bloody great.
Damn your eyes, fall off the edge of the earth. Let's fun, go on, and spend great time. Damn that chest, open up a little too late. Break all the walls, please allow not for your head.
The first that I knew that we probably sounded great was actually the audience. When we finished playing the outro to our final song, Devil in the Deep, we got this response. I'd never been in that situation where we had got asked to play an encore. The sound guy gave us the green light and we actually got to play another song for them. It was a first for me, a fantastic experience to be able to entertain a crowd so much that they actually don't want you to leave, they want you to play more. And it properly made me realise that we did actually sound pretty fantastic after all, and obviously, as I mentioned, we got the soundboard audio afterwards and we were blown away with how good it all sounded. We got to play with some great bands that night. Of particular note was Slipperface, a band from Chester. They were great guys, clearly passionate about their music. I definitely recommend checking them out. After our gig at the Rigger, we decided to sharpen up our set a bit more and then get into the studio to record a couple of our songs. The first song that we recorded and mixed was also the newest one that we'd written. It's a song called Lath Spell. It was based on a couple of riffs that I wrote back when I was a teenager many years ago, and it was originally going to be a cheesy 1980s shred metal song in the style of Racer X with like Paul Gilbert. But when I played the riffs that I had to the band, thankfully they saw something different in it. And as is the way with artistic collaboration, when everyone had their input to the song, it evolved into something that I alone could never have made. I'm very happy with the direction that everyone kind of dragged it in. We were extremely happy with the finished recording, and we actually decided that it would be our first single, released with a music video. We recorded video footage of ourselves in the practice studio playing Lath Spell as quickly as we could with a kind of old camera battery dying very quickly, and we sent that footage off to a very talented videographer in Indonesia. Lath Spell is a song about overthrowing powerful people who unjustly sit in seats of power and putting ordinary people in control. There's a lot of ways that you can read that, and we gave some rough ideas to work with to the videographer and gave him the creative license to do what he felt would be best and what he felt that he could portray accurately in video. The video only took about a week or two. It came back and he'd interpreted it as this slightly interesting kind of take on a slavery situation with someone overthrowing their slave master. When it came back, we were really happy with it and what he'd done, and we edited together a quick teaser video and put that out on Facebook. So when we put the teaser video for Lath Spell out, it totally blew up. People were reacting really well to it, people were liking it, people were sharing it on different forums. We even had an actor, Scott Kyle, who shared our video on Twitter. It was quite crazy, quite cool though. The work that we'd put into it had paid off, and people were really loving the song and loving the video. When the full length video went up on Facebook, the view count just kept creeping up and up. Phil even got recognised by a bartender at a gig that we went to in Stoke. The bartender said that he recognised him from the video. He said how much he loved Lath Spell in the video. Totally strange days. We were not expecting that kind of feedback so quickly from like our first song. So we decided to capitalise on it and on the success of the video and try to nail ourselves a gig. Now, the Underground in Hanley had a Halloween gig organised that was coming up quite quick, and it had Silverchild announced as the co-headliners with Circus Junkie Rebels. I wanted more than anything to get a support slot for Silverchild. For those of you that don't know, they're a rock band from Stoke-on-Trent who sound absolutely massive and incredible. Their live shows are fantastic, hands down my favourite local band. Seriously, if you get a chance to see them live, please do, they'll knock your socks off. So I got in touch with the venue and said, mate, I will volunteer for surgical castration if Skybald can get a slot on the Silverchild gig. Great news, he said. There's a slot available for Skybald, though Silverchild have had to pull out. Well, the gig went ahead, and being Halloween, we took part in the festivities appropriately by dressing up as pirates. Some people came, making a lot more effort than others. The gig itself was the most fun I've ever had on stage. The crowd were great, we got a real warm reception. Tides of Ruin, who stepped in after Silverchild had to pull out, didn't need costumes because some people don't need to dress up to be scary. They are absolutely heavy as a bag of elephants, but tight and melodic to boot. I can see Tides of Ruin going very far, and they're super lovely guys too. Really, really like chilled out guys, absolutely wonderful. The headline act, Circus Junkie Rebels, were great. In the face of some quite large technical hurdles on the night, they actually managed to put on an awesome show. It says a lot about the band that right late into the night, they had a crowd of hardcore, die-hard fans hanging on their every word and singing along to every song. They're a really professional outfit, but they've got a great swathe of fans behind them. I do hope we get to play together again soon. Afterwards, Phil and I went to an after party at theirs, and again, sweet guys, really generous people. You couldn't ask to meet like sweeter people, really. They're really lovely guys. I think it is quite heartwarming that in Stoke-on-Trent at the moment there are a number of bands around that are really great, but also like lovely people. It's a great scene that we have here at the moment. Skybald didn't have to wait long at all before we got asked back to the Underground to play another support slot, this time for a band from London who are on tour. They're called One Last Daybreak. They're kind of an emo band, and I make no secret of the fact that emo is not normally my cup of tea, but I make an exception for One Last Daybreak. Genuinely, I love their sound. Their stuff is part of my daily rotation on Spotify now. It's catchy, the vocals are the vocal hooks are great, the music, like drums, the guitars, all top notch, fantastic. Live, their sound is amazing. I can't believe that they've actually only been going since the start of 2018 because they're so polished live and heavy as anything. We had planned to do one last gig of 2018 in Derby on the 23rd of December. Unfortunately, that gig has now fallen through. The gig we were playing at, it just got cancelled by the promoter not long before the event. It was one of those things totally out of our hands. We tried our best to try and sort an alternative arrangement with another local venue, but we just couldn't find something that would work. So there was nothing that we could do to try and rescue the situation, unfortunately. But we're going to try and make good on that and go back to Derby, because one of the great things we found was that we do have some fans in Derby, which is crazy but very cool. Yeah, c'est la vie, can't be helped. So now that 2018 is pretty much finished, it's been a great year for us. We've solidified our group with Matty Jane now on the drums. We've made our live act tight as anything. Getting asked to do an encore, our first gig with the new lineup, was awesome. We've released a great music video, which has got loads of likes, lots of shares, got us a lot of attention. We've gigged twice now in the underground. We love the venue, we love the fans that go there. We're in a good place. Very happy with the year that Skybald have had, very proud of that. In the new year, we've got a couple of things planned. We're working on polishing up our next single. We have a couple of songs recorded to choose from, but it will be out at some point in the early new year. And we're going to be recording our crowd favourite, Devil in the Deep, affectionately known as the Pirate song, which will hopefully have a suitably pirate-themed video. We're waiting to hear back about the finalised dates for a couple of shows in Stoke and the surrounding area, and as soon as we have them confirmed, we'll get the dates straight out to you. We'll definitely be trying to come out to Derby to make good for the fans that we have there. And anyway, if you've got this far, thanks for listening. Chuck the video a like and keep your eyes peeled on the Skybald Facebook page for more news from Skybald land. Cheers and see you in the new year.
Thank you, we've been Skybald.